Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we are going to make some parts for IED, some simple little parts, the first four, and try to get you going on Inventor here. So the first one we're going to do is this part. So we're going to open up a new part file. And the way we're going to go about this is basically we'll make a rectangle, we'll cut out a bunch of pieces, and add on that little section on the edge there. So first thing we do, start 2D sketch. Doesn't necessarily matter which plane. I'm starting with my XY. I'm going to go to a 2-point center rectangle. Makes life a little bit easier. Starting off here, we know that the overall dimensions looks like it's 4 by 2.5. Finish sketch. And then we will extrude that a distance of 2.5 inches. Like that, and you can extrude in either direction. Then I'm going to come onto here, make a new sketch, and that little rectangular cutout on either the top left or right side, depending on how you're looking at it. We're going to use a 2-point rectangle, starting in there, snap to it, and it looks like that is a 1 by 1 little square. So 1 tab 1. Right click, OK. Oops, sorry. 1 tab 1, enter, and there we have it. We could do the same for the other side. 1 tab 1, enter, finish sketch, and then we'll extrude cut both those. So we select that. You can see it's slight change. Click that, and then extrude cut. We could change the distance to all if we wanted to, and then hit OK. Come down to this face, click that. And now that is looks like it comes 0.5 in from the edge. So I'm going to do a 2-point center rectangle with that. I'm going to come in. I'm going to draw it roughly. We'll take a look how we can do this differently. So there's my rectangle. Hit escape. I'm then going to dimension from the left side to the left side. 0.5. Enter. Dimension tool is still on. From that side to there. 0.5. And then we know our height's also 0.5. Click, click, change that, 0.5. And then now that we can finish sketch and extrude that as well. Distance, you can change 2.5 or put all. And now we just have this one on the side here. Click on that face, start 2D sketch. They tell us that that is a 0.25 by 1.5 rectangle. So what I'll do is I'm going to go into the 2-point center rectangle. I'm going to come down to here. And notice that when I do that, it brings up that black line. I want to be off that black line because I don't know if I want that constraint. But I do know it's 1.5 tab 0.25. And now we'll dimension this into place. Right click, OK. Dimension. It is 0.5 from the side, which is already there. Great. And then from the top of here down to it, let's say cancel. Okay, we're gonna go, project geometry of this top edge, and then dimension from here to there, drag back up until 0.75. Now it's into place. Finish sketch, extrude that piece 0.75 inches as per the diagram. And that's it. That's your first part. Okay, make sure you hit save. And I'll just call it part 1. Let's call it something else. Part 1 IED. There we go. Now let's go on to part 2. Part 2, we're going to do similar. We're going to start with a rectangle and do a couple of cutouts. To go from a new part here, you can go up to the paper, up on the top here, and click New, Standard IPT. Start 2D sketch. Click on that plane again, whatever one you like. I'm going to do another 2-point center rectangle. Click on that. And we know that this is 60 millimeters, so I can type in 60 mm by 40 mm tall. So you can type in the units and it does the conversions for you automatically. Finish sketch, extrude, and we're going to extrude that 30 millimeters like that. So now that's that side. start a sketch on that face. And I'm going to do a 2-point rectangle because I can go grab right up to here. And they give us some dimensions. They tell us that it is 15 millimeters. So I don't know that dimension, but I do know that's 15 millimeters. Click enter. Okay, then we'll dimension off the side, 10 millimeters. 10 millimeters. And the dimension from here over is 25 millimeters. So that's our cutout. Finish sketch. And notice it's right up on the top there. So make sure that when you draw that rectangle, your point starts on that edge and comes down. Extrude. Click that. It's a cut. Hit OK. Now, if your rectangle was placed a little bit farther down, you did not constrain it or did not constrain to this top line. I would go back and do that. Notice in my browser here, if I had made a mistake, I can click on the browser, click on Sketch 2, and then I could, by scroll into that area, and then adjust that rectangle if I needed to. And hit Finish Sketch. Now we're going to do the one on the side. Start 2D sketch there. 2-point center rectangle. I'm going to draw it in. Let's see if it gives me any dimensions. It tells me that it's 15 millimeters by 10. So 15 millimeters by 10 millimeters. Enter. Then I'm going to go to dimension and dimension it from the side, 3 millimeters. And then up from the bottom, it looks like that is 5 millimeters. Click those two spots. Hit escape. It didn't click the dimension. Let's zoom in. Yeah, it's having a hard time. Let's see. Let's try this again one more time. Dimension from the bottom to the bottom there. All right. So what we're going to need to do, since it's not selecting that line the way I want, I'm going to go project geometry. Dimension. There we go. I'm going to come out to the side here, or you can come down, and that is 5 millimeters. Enter, and that moves it up. And it looks like it should be 5 millimeters. And that is over like that. So I'm going to go Finish Sketch. And it doesn't tell if that's all the way through. I'm going to assume it's all the way through, so I'm going to extrude, cut, the distance of this all the way through. So that is the second part. All right, save that. Part 2, ID. That one's done. Now we're going to go on to this third part. This one you could do the same exact way. You can also basically make it as a rectangle, do a series of cutouts. That's what I recommend doing. So start to, whoops, need to make a new part. So I'm going to go File, New, Standard IPT. And I'm going to start from the side and do a big extrusion that way. So start 2D sketch. 2-point center rectangle. 2-point center. And I know this is 3.5 by 2.5. And if you think there's a different way of doing it, you absolutely can. I'm doing it subtractively. Finish sketch. Extrude this, a total distance of, it's 0.5. So I'm going to show you something that we could do. 0.5 plus 1.5 plus 0.5. So I could have it do all the math. So that's the total extrusion. Hit enter. Now I'm going to come back onto this side, create a sketch, and I'm going to do a cutout to make it look like the L. So I'm going to click, 2-point rectangle, start up, see how it's green dot, and over. They give me a dimension of, let's see, 2.5 that way, 3.5. The dimension down, or the depth that they give, is 1 inch from the bottom and 1 inch from the side. So I'm just going to click my rectangle to place, hit OK, right click OK, and then I'll dimension. So if I need to project geometry, let's do that for that side and the bottom so I can measure a little bit easier. Dimension, click here, there, bring over, 1 inch. here, there, same thing. It looks like that is also 1 inch. So that is the side view of our L-shaped thing. Extrude cut. And there you have it. If I click the little home button, it brings in the view. View cube, can move it around. F4, I can rotate it. F2, can pan it. Scroll wheel, it goes in and out. All right, so that's that. Let's rotate it to view. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little cutout on top and cutout here. And I'm going to do it the same way that I've been doing. For this one, I'll do it from the face in. So I'm going to come in here, 2-point center rectangle. I'm going to click so that it's near here and here. Now they don't really give us a dimension for basically how wide it is. They do tell us that it's 1 inch in from the edge, and it's actually 0.5. So I'm going to go here, just click so it's constrained. Right click OK. Come in dimension from here to here. That's 0.5. And then from the left side over, so it didn't need to project it, is 1 inch. So that's that. Finish sketch. Extrude. Let's see if it's doing this. Extrude. That's it right there. Cut. And it tells us a depth of 1.5. So I type in 1.5. And that's our extrude in. This one I'll do right here from this side. And I'm going to go start the same 2-point rectangle. Make sure that line's highlighted. Come over. They tell us that it's 1.5 by 0.5. So I'm going to do 1.5, tab, 0.5, enter. And then all I need to do is dimension it into place of 0.5 over. 0.5, enter. Finish sketch. Same thing. Extrude. Select that. Cut. Okay. If your rectangles are a little bit off and you get a little bit of material left at the top, it is because you did not constrain it to the top of either that edge or that edge. That part's all done. Save that. Part 3, IED. That one's all done. And finally, this fourth one, you could try doing this one all on your own, but if you do need help, let's do it together. Start, new, IPT, create. So this one's a little wonky, may take us a little more time, but no big deal. Start 2D sketch, XY plane. What I'm gonna do is that one face, I'm gonna do the 4.5 by 2.5. So 2-point center rectangle. Oops. I wanna stay on that center. 4.5, tab, 2.5. Just like that. Finish sketch. They tell us the total extrusion, we can add that up. So I'm going to extrude. Now this extrusion is, they tell us it's 1 on the bottom and 1.5 on that top edge. The problem is there's a 0.5 inch overlap. So it's 0.5 plus 1.5. That is our total extrusion. I'm then going to come in from this side and I'm going to do a cut here with a 2-point rectangle like this. That is going to be 0.5 wide, and it looks like it might be 2.5 minus 0.5 for the other direction. So 2.5 minus 0.5, enter, just like that. Finish sketch, extrude cut that all the way through. Distance, all. Okay, so that's that little cutout there. I'm going to come back to this face and do the other cut. That's on the bottom over here. We know that's also another rectangle. So click on 2-point rectangle, come into the corner, and it's going to be something like this. We just don't know what yet. So I'm just going to make the rectangle, hit escape. I'm going to dimension down from the top. It looks like it's 1 down from the top. Like that. And now from the side, it's 1 from here over. 1. Cancel. Selected the wrong one. 1 from there to there is 1. Finish sketch. I'm going to extrude cut that distance. all. You could even do, if we want to do like 2 next, or let's do 2, and you could select the other side. That's a good one. Okay. And now we just need to cut out over here. We could do that from this face. Click there. Another 2-point rectangle up in this corner and come down. There's many ways you could do this. You didn't have to do it in the same sequence that I did, but I'm just going to draw it in. They do tell us that it comes 1.5 down. And do they give us the distance? No. So I'm just going to go like this, click it, and I'll dimension it. 1.5 from here to there. And then 3 from here to there. Finish sketch. Extrude. Cut. Whoop, cut. That. And I'm going to change distance to all. Hit OK. And now that's our part. I'm going to save that. Part 4, IED. Okay, now those are your parts. You could do some other things. If you want to change the material, you can go up onto generic, and I can make it iron gray. And then change the actual color of it to maybe light red. So now that shows me that. If I wanted some more information about it, I can go to File, iProperties, then over to Physical. And if I hit Update, it tells me how much this part weighs, the surface area of it, or the area, the volume of it, and even where my center of gravity would be in the XYZ location of space on this. So that's pretty cool what you can get from there. And that was from File, iProperties. And that's it. So we just made the 4 parts, your first 4 parts in Autodesk Inventor. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.